Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I was going to look at this palette. It's a new palette I've put together, and I wanted to show you how some of the mixing goes. So we've got a Cad Yellow Medium, Cad Red Light, Ultramarine Blue, Phthalo Blue, Cadmium Lemon Yellow, it's a Schminke watercolour, it's gorgeous, Alizarin Crimson, Cerulean Blue, Burnt Umber, Dioxazine Mauve, Permanent Green, Cadmium Orange and Raw Sienna. What I wanted to show you was that you can get some, this is the Cadmium Yellow Medium, and if you add the Ultramarine Blue to it, you can get some really rather gorgeous greens. They're sort of landscape greens and then turning into blue. If you add alizarin crimson to it on the warm side, you can get a nice sort of orange. Put a bit more. And these are very landscapey. They're not in your face colours. They're actually rather gorgeous, subtle colours. If you take your cadmium yellow again, and you add your phthalo blue to it. Phthalo blue is such a strong colour. You can get a sort of some brighter greens. See how bright that green is compared to that greyed out landscapey green. Now this is in part because this yellow is a warm yellow and this blue is a warm blue. And a warm blue has a little bit more red in it. Ultramarine blue lies towards a purple if you were to see it on the colour wheel. This is a warm yellow, but we added a cool blue, a phthalo blue, and it has quite a different effect. Because a phthalo blue is on the colour wheel is moving up towards the green. Phthalo blue already has a green tinge to it. See that? Ultramarine blue has a red tinge to it. So you can clearly see the difference, and you can clearly see why they would do that in the mixing. If you took the cadmium yellow lemon, the lemon yellow, that's a fairly cool, if you look at it against the cadmium yellow medium, it's a cooler yellow. You can just see that it's got more green in it than this one. So if you were to add a warmer blue to it, the ultramarine, it would dull it down and you get a sort of a greeny grey, which is actually rather lovely. But equally, if you added the very loud phthalo, look at that, it's sort of turquoisey. What an amazing green that is. A cool yellow and a warmer blue, a cool yellow and a cooler blue. So you can clearly see what happens when you add different temperature colours to each other. Now we take our lemon yellow and we want to take away some of its lemon yellowness. So what do? We look for a complement, and that would be a mauve. See, that's a mauve. On the colour wheel, it's opposite. And if we add that into our lemon yellow, the yellow disappears and starts greying out and gives us a gorgeous browny tinged colour. We can do that with cadmium yellow, and we can put the same dioxazine mauve into it, but we get a brighter sort of browny colour. All because of the temperature of the yellow, a cool yellow and a warm yellow. If I take the blue, the ultramarine blue, the opposite of ultramarine blue for a complement is cadmium orange. We take some of the cadmium, look how brown that's going. Then we'll take some cooler phthalo blue, and we'll add some orange in. And look, it sort of wants to turn greeny colour, doesn't it? Let's put a little bit of the orange here. That's actually rather gorgeous, but it's much brighter than this. And that's because the nature of the blues. So we have yellow, blue, our last primary would be red. So this is a cadmium red. And the opposite of a red, complementary, is a green. So I'm using a permanent green, straight out of the tube. But you bring that up, introduce it to the warm cadmium red. Let's put a little bit more cadmium in. See what it does. Get a sort of a dirtier green. They've cancelled each other out. You could find a place for that in a landscape painting. So we'll take our cadmium red again, and we'll add some very cool phthalo blue. Look how dark that is. The blue definitely wants to dominate in that mixture. But we can get a brick, almost a brick red. And then it can go out to a grey. Look at that, it's going out to a sort of a grey. This is such a good exercise to do. Take whatever colours you have, find on the colour wheel the opposite, the complementary, and add them in, and you'll get some beautiful colours. And then try your warmer blue, ultramarine, and your cooler blue, a phthalo or a cerulean, and see what happens when you add different colours in. You'll be surprised. And maybe, I mean, this is gorgeous. I'd have to think of somewhere where I could do a painting like that. That is absolutely gorgeous. But equally, I like that. A warm yellow and a dark, dark purple. So, I hope you've enjoyed that little foray into my paint palette. There's 101 combinations we could make, but I just thought that would be a kind of fun thing for you to do. So get your palette out, find your complements and find your warm blues and your cool blues and start playing with them. Okay, thank you for joining me today. Happy painting. See you next time.